Okay, so first I want to reference this video about moon landing hoax debunked.
This one's for all the conspiracy theorists out there.
And I'm going to tell you
the moon landing was real by generating
how this could have been hoaxed.
What the future. On today's show,
despite what he's saying.
That the moon landing happened, if all the other proof wasn't good enough for you. A ridiculous fire truck concept that might be crazy enough to work. And lastly, Russia releases dramatic video from a failed manned rocket launch. But first, let's get lunar. NVIDIA was looking for a way to show off Maxwell, its new graphics processing unit. So it decided to take on one of the most famous bits of evidence that the moon landing was faked. Conspiracy theory.
Okay, in regards to CGI, everything I don't think is fake in CGI. However, if you look at things like, like all these apps that are popular with kids, they're focused around HDR cameras, and they really show how powerful an HDR camera can be to, using CGI. And, most like DSLR cameras have that gimmick of, focusing on different parts of an image from different versions of the same image, so they can, put that image together and then, effectively Photoshop it. But let's go back to moon moon landing problems here. I think this will be sweet and to the point of what I'm trying to say. So,
one small step for man, one giant leap for conspiracy theorists the world over.
Wow, Neil Armstrong. Hey, wait a minute. He's supposed to be on the moon. I just saw it on TV.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com.
Alright, now, just to point things out, I think Armstrong and Aldrin did go to the moon. However, what I'm saying is that they saw that it was flat. And what they found on the moon was the real, conspiracy. I'm thinking that they're finding oil, they're finding, uranium, or they're finding anything that's valuable that they don't want others to know about.
And today we're counting down our picks for the top 5 Apollo 11 moon landing conspiracies. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're breaking down the Apollo 11 moon landing conspiracies that simply won't go away. Prepare to get scienced. Number 5. No exhaust flame. Many conspiracy theorists have pointed to the Apollo 11 lunar module's lack of an exhaust flame while departing from the moon as proof that it was actually a model being pulled by strings on a soundstage in some top-secret Hollywood film studio. As exciting as that sounds, it's simply not true. You know the old expression, it's not rocket science? Well, in this case, it is. You see, the Saturn V rocket that launched Apollo 11 into orbit burned liquid oxygen and kerosene, the combination of which creates a massive flame. However, the module used nitrogen.
Okay, now getting on this point, I think that absolutely did go to space, and it did go to the moon. However, the actual mission was probably just a recording inside of the capsule, which they had taken some prior evidence, which would say that the moon landing was faked on the moon after the moon landing about a year prior, to see if let's see. Apollo 11 orbit path, yeah. Yeah, okay. This is something very important here. Hoping you can see, study this, study this image just for a second. Now, I will say I do believe in physics. Gravity is definitely real. You know, flat or not, but problem is that if you have any type of body in the sky here, doesn't matter how it's staying up there, when you gain velocity, let's just say for a second you know, you do believe in gravity, but basically, problem is that you have to be, you know, a very precise speed to get into this sphere of influence without either flying off and being screwed or just crashing straight into it. And you see, I feel that that's kind of a, you know, unnecessary risk, assuming that the Earth is a sphere. But however, if the Earth was just, it was flat, you know, if it was just flat, you know, oh, here, hold on, flat Earth. Flat Earth model. I'll show you, sir. Or we're about out of time, but I'll show you this one last thing. To try to prove a point to you. Alright, now let's say you're on this flat Earth, alright? And this dome, okay, I don't think exists. There is no dome. There is no magic sky god who created anything. It's basically just, you know, property of quantum physics and all that. But you see, say that the moon is on top of that pencil there. You see, and if physics going to the moon and on the moon were the same as down on the flat Earth, and it was, in fact, just a flat moon that was just reflecting off something, then you could just go up and then paratroop your way down safely on the moon, and that would make a lot more sense. Well, this is about the end of my evidence, but there's one more important thing to talk about. Now, I want to talk about why lie about the shape of the Earth. Alright? Basically, when talking about flat Earth, obviously, you know, there could be like something on the edge of what's supposed to be this dome. For example, let me show you. Yeah, like this ice wall. There could be something that a normal person would find very shocking, and if they knew about, they might, you know, try to go to, you know where this ice is, and they either just fly off into, you know, into nothing, or ultimately die out of curiosity. So you want to lie about the flat Earth because, for one thing, there's probably a bunch of resources in this Arctic area. You know, it's probably not quite what they say it is. It's, you know, it probably is shitty and cold up there, but there probably is like resources of some kind that, you know, the enemy of the United States, like during the Cold War, Russia would be definitely, you know, interested in going here if they knew there was resources there, because it has never stopped them before. If you ever heard about the Kursk. But, yeah, that's all the time I have.